Hi, friends. Welcome to Take Care of Your Body by Rye. I'm your host, Rylan Rosano, psychology master's student, chronic illness advocate, two-time published author, and a girl who has a lot of questions, and I ask your favorite health and wellness professionals them. Join me every week for a new episode that ties back into taking care of our body, mind, and making sure we never give up on our dreams. I'll see you every Wednesday and Saturday, and make sure you hit subscribe, grab your favorite coffee, and we're about to yap about all things health, wellness, and being human. Hey everyone, today I'm honored to welcome a very special guest. Hi Tanner, how are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and all the amazing things you do?
Yeah, so my name is Tanner, but I go by like T Lion a lot, and I really like put on a lot of shows. I do videography. I have a whole broadcasting degree, and then I also like do music myself.
Wow. How did you get into that?
So when I was 13, I had a heart attack, and it started me doing music. And then I just kept going and doing music, and then I ended up getting into videography after I graduated high school and went to college and went for broadcasting.
Wow, you had a heart attack at 13. I can't even imagine. So instead of like letting that time period define you, you created something and you stuck with it. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I have a rare heart condition. I got a pacemaker.
What's the heart condition called?
It's called CPVT. I'm not sure exactly what all the words stand for. They're a lot like big words. So.
Wow, I'm so proud of you. I think like it's amazing. Something I stand for is not letting, your struggles define you and turning your pain into passion, and that's exactly what you've done. You get to connect with people and maybe even come across people who have similar circumstances as you as well. So, it's really beautiful. You're putting yourself out there and not letting what you deal with define you.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about your love for music, photography, and videography. Like, what is it like being in that world of things? I think on social media we see one side of it. What does the behind the scenes look like?
So really the behind the scenes, like a lot of people don't see like who I'm with and stuff. So like with the videography, I really have opened a lot of doors with it. Like I've been able to be backstage with a lot of big people just being a videographer. Like I was backstage with Jacquees. I've been backstage with DDG, so many big people just doing videography. And videography is really like just opened a lot of doors for me. That's what really got me started doing being around music more and stuff because I wasn't really like I was making music, but I wasn't really around like shows and stuff until I got into videography a lot.
Wow. When it comes to videography, does the artist tell you like, certain things that they want, you know, portrayed, I guess, or do they like have a certain look for the video, or is that really all in the hands of you?
A lot of times it's in the hands of me, but sometimes the artists they'll tell me like what they want, but sometimes I've just been a cameraman for like a streamer named Adrian Nice, and he's got me into a lot of rooms with a lot of bigger people and stuff, just being his cameraman.
Wow. Has there ever been a time where you kind of took the wheel and decided to be behind the camera as well as in front of the camera, and what was that like?
Yeah, I've been like in front of the camera a few times on like streams and stuff, but I usually am like more behind the camera just because that's like my expert stuff, so I'm better behind the camera, but like, I like being in front of the camera sometimes, like when I'm performing and stuff. I love people taking videos of me and everything.
Well, no, and I feel like that's like the whole artistic aspect of it. Like, that's a huge part of the creation, being behind the scenes and being filmed and being able to express your love for it. And that's something that a camera can really capture. That's why I like taking pictures because a moment, is just a moment unless you record it or document it, and then you get to look back on it.
How long have you been taking pictures for?
Oh my gosh, literally since I was a kid.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, I love art and I love creativity and I think it's a beautiful way to express ourselves. I do think, unfortunately in the world that we live in with social media and everything, like it's become very filtered and people want to only post the good side of things and, have a certain look for, what they're into creatively. And I think, we need people with different artistic abilities to kind of come together and create their own niche and be able to collaborate. So that's what I love about the world of creativity. Unfortunately, I don't like, how it can really affect your mental health. Is that something that you've noticed?
Yeah, I can.
It
But
really can.
like with music, it's really helped me with like not being depressed and stuff. Cause like me making music, it really takes away depression for me. Cause like when I had a heart attack hit, I was depressed. When I had to have my pacemaker, I was depressed. So I just went and made music and it changed everything.
Well, because it gives it a place, and that's what I love about podcasting and the platform that I'm, creating is like, when you deal with so much stuff, it's really hard. And I think when you build a community or you, turn it into something, not only does it help you, but it can start to help other people. And then you feel less alone because you're connecting with so many people who feel the same thing. And I think words and music and creative, worlds can really like be able to express certain things that people feel but might not have the words for. So I really love that you're doing this and I think you're helping a lot of people and you're probably, I mean, the main star of the show when it comes to orchestrating some of these music videos or whatever you're filming these shows. I mean, you're a huge part of it. So I'm sure the artists are very, very grateful for you.
Yeah, I love being able to like help artists that aren't necessarily big yet, but like help them make more connections because I know so many bigger people and I just help them get a lot more emotion than they had before. And it's like wonderful. Like my last show, I was able to have it be all ages because we didn't have alcohol. So we made it all ages. And I was able to have this person's like niece and nephew be able to see him perform.
Oh, that's so wholesome. And I think again, like that really reminds you why you do what you do. I think sometimes we get so caught up in the analytics of things or the followers or the streams or the numbers, but at the end of the day, music and being creative is all about human connection for sure.
Yeah.
Is that something that you tend to like notice that you fixate on like the outreach or the numbers, or have you kind of gotten to not focus on that a lot and remembering why you do what you do?
Like, I don't really focus on that as much because I just want to be able to support all the artists. Like, we're all trying to get to the same place as everyone else. So I just like being able to support all the artists. Like, some of these artists that I've put on stage, it's their first time performing, and some of them had sold 10 tickets and got paid. So it's different, and it'll be their first time doing a paid show, their first time even performing on like a live stream on Twitch because all my shows are live streamed. Like they can sell tickets to the general admission, but they can also sell tickets to the live stream.
I love that. So there's a balance there and there's also like accessibility and I think again like in the world of music we need more of that. So that's really cool that you have like both ways for people to be able to come to the show.
Yeah, it's like different because like some of these artists, their grandparents probably have never seen them perform.
Yeah.
They could buy a live stream ticket and see them perform.
Which is again a cool experience because not only is it connecting us, but it's also like teaching different generations about different forms of music and different forms of artistry. So It's a really amazing experience. How do you balance the business side with the creative side?
So with the creative side, like I just let it come to me really, but like with the business side, it's like more of trying to find the right people to work with because I've gotten scammed a lot in this industry. Like when I was on tour with Jacquees, I was working with somebody that was like just working the tour and she was barely paying me. She scammed a lot of artists after that and everything. And then I just had to get away from her. So I just started doing my own thing. Like it's just a lot of scamming people in this industry. So you just got to find the right people to work with.
1,000%. And I think sometimes, like, as much as I love social media and it's amazing, like, that's one of the downsides. You have to be careful with who you connect with because not everyone is in it for the right reasons. And some people are going to scam you. And I think you have to protect your mental health because, why are you going to associate with someone who's not in it for the right reasons and is not doing it for the same exact, you know, at the end of the day, like the same end goal, which is to connect with people and help people. You don't want someone like that associated with you. So I think that's a good point to bring up. Internet safety is so important and like workplace safety is so important. You don't want to work with someone who's gonna scam you.
Yeah, so that's why I've like really just like created my own team. Like my producer is Rizzy, who you have interviewed before. So that's somebody who I really do like these shows with. Like he's really helped me be able to do my own events and everything.
Rizzy's amazing. He really is in this for the right reasons and is just like a good person and you can tell he's passionate about it. So it's awesome that you guys get to work together.
He's a great person.
He really is. What is something people don't realize about working behind the scenes? Again, I feel like what you do gets a bad rap. People think it's an easy job, and I'm sure you're going to tell us it's not.
It's not easy. You have artists coming in your inbox nonstop begging you for free videos, free this, free that. But a lot of other behind the scenes, like when you shoot a video, if you don't get it out on a certain time, artists are gonna start getting on your nerves and just keep hitting you up and keep hitting you up. So that's what happens a lot. It just depends on like if you're using different editors and stuff. Sometimes editors will take longer. It's a lot of stuff like that.
And how do you protect like your mental health and your peace and set boundaries? Have you ever had to like set boundaries with someone that's come into your DMs demanding like free tickets or, rushing your process of things?
Yeah, on the last show, I had to tell somebody that like nobody's getting in for free.
It's
Like
crazy.
you gotta buy a ticket.
Why would someone assume that? Like that they would get in anywhere for free? That's not how business works. What?
Just think like the only people who would get in for free is my family.
1,000%. Because you're literally like the main star of the show with with the work you do. Like that makes so much sense. But like, I don't know, that's something that really bothers me, like unfair business transactions. People, like you don't go into a coffee shop and expect your coffee to be free. You don't get to go into someone's show that's like, using their time and their resources and their money to make the show happen and expect to be able to witness the process and the hard work for free. That's not how it works. And I don't know, I just think there's this whole like stigma like, oh, it's just a show, it's just an artist. No, it's not. That's someone's job.
For real.
Not only
Like
is it that artist's job, but it's your job to orchestrate that entire thing. Like the show couldn't go on if you weren't there behind the scenes making it happen. Like, why do people think that it's not as big of a deal that it is? Because it is.
people think they're gonna get into the show free just because they've been into the studio with you once or twice, or like
Uh,
hung out with you once or twice.
or they want to just be friends with you because of what you do. I've had that happen to me where I've had people just, like the life that I have and the space that I'm building and, forged a friendship and wasn't an actual true authentic friend because they just wanted to like be by my side when I went to events or did interviews or had book signings or whatever. And I'm just like, that's not how this works. There's me as a person, and then there's me as a creator and author and podcast host. And if you're lucky, you get to be a part of both sides of things, but I'm really picky on who gets access to the second version of me because that's professional.
Yeah.
So I completely understand. Humans are weird. Being a human is hard, and humans just make it harder for us. Like, you know, the world that we live in, especially in the creative industry, it's hard enough. We don't need people begging for free tickets.
Yeah.
What was it like to work with John Cleese?
It was really cool. Like his team is really cool. Like, so the guy that runs it, his name's Nick Lavelle. He was like the main promoter of it, but he also like was the opener for every show.
Wow.
And he did a really good job with it. Like the first show, I was in New Orleans. I got to meet Jarquez that night, and I got to meet Juvenile. But they brought Juvenile out at the end, and then we after that we went to Atlanta, and I got to meet Quavo. Walked in and performed with Jarquez, so I was backstage with Jarquez and Quavo.
Wow. Are those two people that you look up to in the creative world? I feel like we all need mentors and creative influences. Are those two people for you? Do you have any more?
Um, Somebody who I really was looking up to is XXX Tentacion,
Oh,
Juice
amazing.
WRLD, Lil Peep.
Amazing, amazing humans. I think like something that I love about these rappers so much is like they've been through so much, but they're so resilient and they don't let, what the media might misconstrued define their artistry and their work. And it's beautiful that despite what happened to X, like his legacy still lives on. And I think that really shows music speaks volumes and it really can connect us even after we're gone.
Yeah, I mean, look at Tupac and Biggie. People are still listening to their music.
Mac Miller. I know. It's beautiful, and that's what I love about words and writing and connecting and, building platforms because at the end of the day, like if you look at it in the sense of we do what we do because we want to leave a legacy. Like it's not about followers, it's not about analytics. We're doing this because we're passionate about it and we get to impact and connect with people that at the end of the day when we're no longer here, someone will still have access to our work because it will have, created such a space that people still connect with it long after we're gone. And that's beautiful. It's a legacy. So, my next question for you is why do you think music connects people so deeply?
Because it makes people feel something. Like it's energy. A lot of people like they need music to even live sometimes because it really helps people. Like music can even help you sleep. It
Really?
can help you help your mind, everything.
I agree. And something that like I've noticed is like if I try to go throughout my day without music, like I don't have as good of a day. Like I think music really can uplift your mood. It can improve your sleep. It can connect you. You send a song to a friend or someone that you love and then suddenly you're talking. And that's what I love about it. It's universal. And even if you don't like the same music as the next person, they can share a song and then maybe you'll try a new genre and it's just a whole beautiful experience. Were there any songs or artists for you that when you had your heart attack, you really leaned on?
Lecrae was a big one because like a week or two after my heart attack, I went to a Lecrae show and he said something during the show and was like, um, he's like, if there's something you want to go do it. And then that's when I started making music was right after that show.
I love that because it's so true. Like, we all are so scared of starting something, but I think like the thing that we're scared of is often the thing that's going to change our lives the most, and we just need to start. Just starting is the whole goal, and then, you never know where it's going to go from there. How do you think visuals change the way people experience music? Something that I really admire when I go to concerts or shows is like the artist has really good visuals. How do you think that changes the experience overall?
People love to see something. A lot of people are visual learners and they love to be able to see what your vision is on the song.
I love that. And it also like gives, again, like you're right, we are visual learners. We like to watch movies. Some people like to prefer watching movies and reading books. And if an artist is singing lyrics, you have a visual that can help your brain connect the lyrics to the visual that you're seeing. And it's a full experience. So I love that. What is your process when creating a music video? Do you want to break that down for some of my listeners?
So my process is usually like I try to find the best part of the video to use for the intro first, and then like try to find the ending too, just to get both of those done first, and then I'll go in and find good parts for the middle and everything. But it's always better to do the intro and the ending first.
Do you ever have a point where you have to like do a lot of editing because you don't like the way something came out or it wasn't the vision that you were looking for? And has there been times where you had to like reshoot the entire music video?
There's been like one time where I had to reshoot the video just because the video got like some of the parts like got too blurry and I couldn't fix it and stuff like that. But I haven't had to reshoot many.
Thankfully, knock on wood. That just seems like such an overwhelming process because I think like you can correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't, taking a music video and like having to like orchestrate it and put it in such a specific format take all day? Like that's an all day thing, right?
Sometimes it can take all day, but I've had ones where I've gotten them done in like 20, 30 minutes. It just really depends on what the artist wants, how much effects they want, and everything. Like, if they want a lot of effects, I usually send it to an editor. But if they're just wanting like a simple edit, I'll edit it.
I love that. Is editing hard?
Sometimes it just really depends on what the artist wants. Like, if it's just some simple stuff, it's usually not. But like, sometimes it can get really hard.
No, and be overwhelming. I can relate to editing with my podcast. I think sometimes like if someone says a bad word or if something, isn't portrayed the way that you want it to be perceived, like you have to really sit there and like, dedicate your time to editing it because not only will it represent that artist or person in a bad way, it won't represent your brand in the way you want it to. So it's frustrating. I don't like it. I definitely need a lot of coffee if I'm doing a lot of editing.
Yeah, and you gotta hear the same thing back and forth like 30,000 times.
Oh my God, it's so frustrating. I'm like, why am I here? And like sometimes like if it's me talking, I don't want to hear myself over and over again. Like I don't like listening to myself talk. Um, what is something people don't realize about being in the industry that you're in that you want to kind of, bring to the surface right now?
Um, really, like, your own city doesn't support you as much as you think they will. You gotta get out of the city. Like, people think that, oh, I might blow up just staying here in Charlotte. I might blow up here just staying in this city. Nah, you gotta go to other cities. You gotta perform in other cities. Even if you're not an artist, you gotta go do videos, promote, do something in other cities.
No, 1,000%. And for anyone who maybe doesn't have the confidence to do so, do you have any tips that you want to give them?
Stop caring what people think. Go in there like you already know who you are. You already know you're somebody. Stop caring what everybody else thinks about you. Just walk in there like you already know people know who you are.
No, I think sometimes, what really stops creators, authors, podcast hosts, musicians, people like you who do videography, photography, etc., is that like what will people think about me? How will people view this? And something that I have to remind myself is I'm not everyone's cup of coffee because some people like tea, they don't like coffee, and you can't waste your time trying to convince people that were never going to understand you in the first place to like your like your artistry, like your creative work, because they don't want to. You're going to find the right people. You just have to keep going and not caring. If someone doesn't get it, then they're not your audience. So I love that message. I think people really sometimes like put so much pressure on the outcome, and like all of the artists that I look up to and the creators, like, they didn't blow up on day one. They had to continue to put in the hard work. I
Yeah,
want fast results.
a lot of artists that I've looked up to, people are saying, oh, I don't want to go to events. I want to wait till I get big and I'm gonna get paid for these events. No, you gotta go and network because Sauce Walker is somebody who I look up to. I'm sure he went to some networking events, open mics before he was big. A lot of these artists that people look up to have definitely went to big, like small networking events, small open mics before they got big.
1,000%. And that's how you expand and get your name out there. Nothing good comes from staying stuck or hiding in your house. If you want to be a public person, you have to accept being public will come with people unfollowing you, not associating with your content, not resonating with it, but you have to keep going anyways. And it's hard and it's scary, but you have to keep going. So thank you for saying that and reminding all of us, because I think like, something we all do is we compare our day one to someone's day 1,000, and that person, whoever it might be, artist, creator, podcast host, whoever you're looking up to, had moments where they were stressed and upset and didn't have the reach that they wanted, but they kept going, and that's what we all need to do. Have you had days when you kind of, really struggled with, why do I do this? It's not getting the reach that I wanted, and how did you pick yourself back up on those days?
I mean, I've had days where I just didn't want to do music anymore and stuff like that, but I just picked myself back up by just going back in the studio and writing a song about it, or going and making some content, or going and hanging out with some friends. That's what would always help me.
I love that. What is one piece of advice you want to give to maybe a 19-year-old or 18-year-old chasing a dream right now?
I would say keep chasing it, don't stop, stay on the grind because it's just at reach. You never know when it could happen.
I love that so much. What does success mean to you now versus when you first started?
Success is more like when I first started, success was me getting to do my own events. And now, like with success, it's my own events being like, I only, this is a Trippy Time 3 is August 6th. And a Trippy Time 2 was a couple of weeks ago. And that was only my second event. And I sold it out.
Wow.
So I'm trying to do that with a Trippy Times 3. I'm trying to sell it out, and then I'm gonna just keep going. The next one I'm gonna try to do in Raleigh. This August 6th one is at Vista Events in Charlotte.
Oh, that's amazing. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Like we already got 30 sign-ups. I already have 4 tickets sold.
Wow. So you think a lot of people will be coming and it will be a good turnout?
Yeah, definitely.
If anyone listening wants to attend or get tickets, are there still some available?
Yes, The link to get tickets is in my Instagram bio, which is official T Lion. And then also, like, if any artists are listening, they can also hit me up on Instagram or they can go to my link and sign up.
I think it would be a really fun experience, and also they get to connect with other creatives who might have the same, message or music that they, do or resonate with, and who knows, maybe a collaboration will be orchestrated, and then you can message me and be like, "Look, Rylan, look what you did."
Yeah, now we got three different cameramen coming, and then we got No Stress Kitchen, which is our food vendor. That is also like it's created by Two Chainz
Wow.
DJ Sud.
Wow. That's going to be an amazing event. I think like the fact that you have such support from the community will really like overall play a big role, because it's not only going to be supported, but a lot of creatives will be showing up, and hopefully some of my listeners will come and support you as well. That's so amazing that you're doing that. I love that so much. Do those shows like leave you feeling very fulfilled?
Yeah, like seeing people be happy after they performed and still like a lot of shows I go to in Charlotte, like a lot of the artists they leave right after they perform. At my show, a lot of these artists they're having such a good time that they're staying and not leaving.
I love that. So it almost is like you all become family.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. What do you think defines talent? Do you think that, follower count or like amount of streams defines whether someone's talented or not?
Um, Not even necessarily like follower count on Instagram or anything. It's more of like your monthly listeners. It's more of how many monthly listeners you have. Um, it's more of like, is your song catchy? Like,
Right.
are people gonna catch on to your music or not?
I agree. I think that really does play a role because, something that really I think depends on whether I'm going to continue to listen to an artist is it original? You'll listen to so many of these popular artists, and I'm like immediately like, that sounds just like an Ariana Grande song, or that sounds like Taylor Swift, or that sounds like someone else that I already, listen to a lot. Why am I going to listen to almost a copy and paste version of that popular artist?
That's why I like Charlotte because most of these cities like
Hmm.
Atlanta has a certain sound. Everybody tries to sound like Future or like Quavo, all them, or somebody like that. But like Charlotte is more a diversity sound. Like you don't know what you're gonna get in Charlotte.
There's a lot of originality. I love that so much. We need more of that. I think, again, social media and, this creative industry, everyone wants to be like one another, but you need to be like yourself. And if that means, maybe you're not going to get the most amount of followers or listeners right away, it's because you're different, and people need to really realize like being different is beautiful, because why am I going to connect with someone who's just like another creator? I want someone who's authentically them. And maybe it won't make you the most popular person, quickly, but I think people will catch on and will admire what you're building if it's like originally you. So
Yeah, that's what I've done like in this industry is just I've always been myself, like not cared what people think, just kept being myself and I've worked hard to get to where I'm at.
I'm really proud of you and everything that you're building. So my last question for you is, how do you keep creating when you feel like nobody's watching?
Um, I just keep going. I don't really care about the views or anything. I just love doing this, love being able to do my own events, love being able to do videography and everything. So I don't really look at the views as much.
And I think that's important because you're in it for the right reasons. And at the end of the day, like, people will want to work with you because you have the right kind of heart in this industry. Tanner, where can we follow and connect with you if we want to maybe work with you for listening or we want to resonate with your work? Where can we support you at?
So my Instagram is official T Lion, and then all my music is T Lion. It's TLION. It's what the T is capital, and then everything's lowercase for all my music on all platforms. And then the Instagram's just official T Lion.
Thank you so much for joining me. This was such an honor. You're so amazing, and I'm so proud of your origin story and to where you are now. I can't wait to release this and inspire everyone and also tell them about what you've done and what you've built so they can come out and support you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.